Hello, everyone, and welcome to the University of Missouri St. Louis. I'm Lexi Neal. I'm going to be one of your two tour guides today. Dre is also joining us, and he'll introduce himself in just a moment. But let me tell you some fun facts about myself and what I do at the University of Missouri St. Louis. So I'm currently a vocal performance major working on my French minor. I've had many awesome work experiences on campus, such as being a climbing wall attendant at our wonderful new recreation wellness center, as well as being an orientation leader, where I got to work with lots of new students and show them the wonderful resources that we have on campus. And now I have this job as a tour guide, where I get to show all of those experiences and share those resources with you. So that's me. What about you, Dre?
You do a lot on campus, Lexi, almost as much as me. So I'm Dre Williams. I'm a double major in business management and theater and dance performance. I'm from the Chicagoland area, and I've done so many things on campus, from working in orientation to working for student life, working for Sodexo, which is our food service company here on campus. And now I'm here working in the Welcome Center right alongside Lexi.
Yes, and we have such a good time together. We've had a lot of those experiences together, actually. We worked first as an orientation crew together, and now we work together as tour guides. And that's just one of the many ways that you can make friends on campus, is working together. So now we're looking at the Millennium Student Center that a lot of people on campus like to call the MSC. So inside the MSC is where you're going to find a lot of the resources and offices that you will use here on campus, as well as it houses a lot of the meal options that we have on campus as well. So let's go ahead and show you this beautiful building. We're going to be going in through the north entrance. So as soon as we get inside, here are the first two offices that you're going to see to your right when you enter: the cashier's office and the career services office. So down the hallway at the very end is our cashier's office. And in the cashier's office, this is a very important office because it's where you pick up your 2 free parking passes per year, which is super awesome because I think we're one of the few institutions where you get free parking passes, and you get a lot of those sort of benefits for going to school here. This is also where you can pick up your Metrolink pass. We do have 2 Metrolink stops on campus, so that when you're on campus and you want to go somewhere, that's whether it's downtown or at the Del Mar Loop, if you want to grab a bite with friends or go see a Cardinals game, whatever it may be, and you don't want to park in the city. You know, sometimes we don't want to do that, especially when it's busy down there. So we have a free Metrolink pass for you that you can pick up there as well, so that you can get out and enjoy the culture and experiences that St. Louis has to offer. And then the office that's right next to that is our career services office. So of course, the reason we go to college in the first place is to better ourselves in preparation for our professional lives after we graduate from the institution. So the career services office houses several professionals that are there to make sure that you are ready for that professional life. What are some of the services that they can offer? Well, they can offer mock interview experiences where you can come dressed up like you normally would for an interview. You can bring your resume, and you can pretend it's an actual interview and receive feedback from those professionals and make sure that you are ready for that next step. They can also look over those resumes and give you any feedback that you may need to make it that professional grade that people who are hiring are looking for. So we're going to go a little bit further down the hall. Dre, would you like to tell us about our Welcome Center?
Almost definitely. So the Welcome Center here, it'll pop up in a moment. All right, so the Welcome Center. The Welcome Center is where us Triton leaders here give tours of campus, and we're just pretty much a resource to anyone on campus that wants to know where things are, or just to get more information about UMSL as a prospective student. We're a part of the admissions office, so we're pretty much just the student sector. So if you ever have any questions or want to know even about our personal student experience, the Welcome Center is the place to go.
Absolutely. And then right across the hall from that is your one-stop shop for pretty much anything you could need. And we like to call that the Triton store. So I'll wait for it to come up on your screen really quick. I know it's up on mine, but we're just learning this technology version of things. So Dre, can you see that? Can you see the Triton store? Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. So we like to say that the Triton store is broken up into 4 different areas where you can find 4 completely different things that will help you a whole lot. So on the right side of the store, you can see that that's where you're going to pick up any snacks that you may need. If you need a little pick-me-up halfway through your day, that's where you can get any drinks. But they also have cool little knick-knack things, like if you want to pick up your hydro flask or you want to pick up a notebook or anything like that, you can also find it on that side of the store as well. And then right across the way is where you can pick up any UMSL apparel and merchandise. So we have any UMSL t-shirts, sweatpants, shorts, you know, mugs, bumper stickers, any UMSL apparel that you could ever want to show your UMSL spirit.
Yes.
On the back right of the store is where you're going to find any technology that you may need. So we know that technology keeps becoming more and more a part of the student experience. Whether you have an online class or you end up having an online book, you'll need a computer or an iPad or, you know, all sorts of stuff to make sure that you can keep up with those classes. So we do have those items for you, different types of laptops, iPads, even headphones and chargers for those devices. So if you need those things, you don't need to look any further than the Triton store. And then finally, to the back left is where you're going to be finding your books. So there are many different means of renting books and buying the books. So like I said, you can rent them, you can buy them new, you can buy them used, or you can even get the online option. So in the back, there's always a professional that's there to help you with that sort of thing, but that's where you'll pick up those books. So that's our Triton store. It's pretty awesome. It's just full of all the things that you might need. And then right across the way from the Triton store is our US Bank. So we'll look at that really quick. The US Bank is a wonderful option on campus, whether you already have a checking account or you want to open a checking account. It's always nice to be close to your finances on campus. That way, if you need to make a deposit, you know, if you're commuting, you don't want to have to go all the way back to your hometown to make a deposit. So you can do that right here, and we have wonderful people there to help you out and also make it a learning experience. They want to make sure that coming out of college, you have a good grasp on how to manage your finances once you're out of college as well. So now we're going to go to the end of the hallway where we are going to see our first meal option. Dre, what's up with Einstein's Coffee?
What's up with Einstein's Coffee? Well, Einstein's Coffee is a bagel shop that we have right here in the Millennium Student Center. They're really friendly. They've actually won some national awards for their customer service. So we're really proud to have them here on campus. You can come get your caramel macchiatos, your double pump lattes, your bagel sandwiches, your breakfast burritos, all sorts of things right here at our Einstein Bros Bagel.
You're speaking my language. I spent a lot of time in Einstein's. It's one of my favorite places ever. So now we have the U Radio, which is kind of Dre's stomping ground. So I'm going to let him talk about that.
Yes, so the U Radio station is ran by our student organization, SEMPA, which means Student Electronic Media Professionals Association. We also run the campus television station, UTV, which is based out of Lucas Hall. It's really awesome because students are allowed to create their own content. We have radio shows, we have radio talk shows, and with UTV, you can literally create anything that you want to create in your imagination. All right, and anybody is allowed to do this, not just communication majors. And then
Sounds
right
pretty
next
awesome to
to it,
me.
yeah, right. Right next to it, if you go down that hallway there, we have our multicultural student services. Tucked in that back hallway in multicultural student services is our tutoring. They have extra counselors that are more like accountability buddies for people. So if you need help staying on track, they'll make sure to check in on you, to ask how you're feeling about class. It's a little, college is hard, so sometimes you need more resources that can help you be a successful student, which brings me to their events. They have several events on campus that are aimed towards helping you become a better student, whether that is financially, academically, all around. They want you to be a good student, and they want to make sure you're successful here at UMSL. So if you go to 4 of those events throughout the semester, you are actually going to get a scholarship for doing things to further enrich yourself. So that's a really good reason for any student to become a part of multicultural student services.
Hey, that's awesome. All right, if we spin around just a little bit, we are going to go on over to one of my favorite places to study on campus, and that is our Fireside Lounge. So we're going to take a peek inside our fireside lounge and find out why it's so wonderful. So for me, it may be because of the comfy couches that are all over the place, or maybe it's because in the winter they always have this fire on, or maybe it's that you can view pretty much all of campus just from sitting right there. It's a wonderful, super comfortable place to rest during those stressful weeks of school. I love it so much. And there are lots of different organizations that have meetings in here or events in here, ice cream socials, you name it, all sorts of stuff. You named a really awesome one earlier, Dre. What was it? Was it Breakfast with Politicians or?
Yeah, so they actually have lunch with politicians here in the Fireside Lounge quite often, where you can mix and mingle with politicians. They have do-it-yourself sushi events, which is really fancy. And then they also have our commuter cash auction, which is held in here, which if you go to a lot of events here on campus, you can get money added to your student account, like Monopoly money. And you can use that at the auction to win things like giant beanbag chairs, TVs, Apple Watches, Fitbits, Mickey Mouse waffle makers, just to name a few.
Oh, that is awesome. I guess it really pays to go to those commuter cash events here on campus.
Yes, yes.
All right, so now we are going to be taking a trip down to our first floor in just a moment. So on our first floor, I think it's probably one of my favorite places because it's where you can pick up lunch. It's where you can pick up breakfast and snacks and all sorts of stuff. And that is our nosh. So let's get a little closer to our nosh really quick and let's see what some of our meal options are in the Millennium Student Center. So as you can see right in front of you, you can see a Pizza Hut. I'm sure you're well acquainted with it. I am. You can get pizza,
Yeah.
you can get pasta, garlic bread, all the great stuff right over there. And to the right of that, if you look really, really close, you can see the logo for WOW Cafe. So WOW stands for World of Wings. So of course, you can get wings, but you can also get anything that you'd get at your traditional restaurant. So burgers and fries and all sorts of wonderful stuff, salads and wraps. It has just about everything. And then to the right, tucked away, you can't really see it in this photo that I'm showing you right now, but to the far right is where you find our sushi and ramen bar, where you can get fresh sushi and ramen options every day. And then we are going to look over a little bit. We have our Simply To Go options. So they have lots of snacks and fun things that you can eat really quick in between classes. Sometimes you don't have a lot of time, so you just need something that'll fill you up enough to get you through class, and that's where you go for that. And another one of our meal options that's tucked away behind this is our soup and salad bar. So you can also get something light and fresh whenever you are.
You're making me hungry. I can't hear you at all anymore.
You can't?
Okay, now I can. Dang
Okay.
it, I thought
All
this
right.
was a good one.
We're figuring out this technology thing right now, so we're trying to
I thought
make
this
it
was
work.
a good one.
All right, so now I'm going to get us to our Triton card office. But also in this hallway, we have a subway and something that we call our pilot house. And we also have, you'll find out in just a second. I'm just going to get you to that hallway really quick. Okay. So the Triton card office is one of the first places that you're going to go during your time at the university because you need a Triton card. It's like your driver's license of UMSL. So it's going to get you into our recreation and wellness center. If you have a meal plan, it'll help you pay for food. If you end up living at Oak Hall or one of our living situations on campus, that's how you swipe into your dorms. To rent a book, you swipe, you get the point. You use it for everything. So that's where you go to get that Triton card. And it doesn't take long. So let's go a little bit further down the hall. Dre, do you want to tell us what's up with the pilot house?
Yeah, at the pilot house. Well, the pilot house is really the place to be on campus. Several different organizations host events here in the pilot house. We've had silent disco parties, to concerts, to trivia nights, to election nights, roller skating nights, all sorts of events happen right here in the pilot house. As we said before, the Millennium Student Center is a place for students. So this is just one of those spaces that students can fully utilize to make the most out of their college experience. We also have a Subway in here, which is another one of our food options here on campus. So, I mean, I like Subway, but I like the cookies a little better, and they give a lot of those. So if you like Subway cookies, that's the place to be.
Absolutely. So as you can see, we don't have a shortage of meal options here at the University of Missouri St. Louis. And everything that you've seen in the everything you've seen in this building, that's not it. We still have more. I'm going to take you back out to the Nosh now, and we're going to find our way back upstairs really quick. And I'm going to show you, well, actually, we have one more office to talk about. Let's talk about our Health Counseling and Disability Access Services office.
Definitely.
Okay, we're going to move over there. So this is an outside view of those offices for you. So I'll talk about a couple, Dre will chime in too. We're just going to give a brief overview of the awesome services that they provide here. So in the health office, I like to speak about it as sort of mini urgent care on campus. It's where you go to be taken care of by our wonderful nurse practitioners on campus. You can come to get basic medicine, get your temperature taken, to get a vaccine. I've heard of people going to get their flu vaccine there. And you don't need, basically the overall thing I want you to remember today is that you don't need health insurance to get these services here. You will pay a small fee for the services that they provide, but overall they want this to be accessible health services for you. So that's some of the things that they provide there. Inside our counseling services office is where you can go to get a checkup mentally. Sometimes whenever you're on campus and you're constantly studying and constantly having your head in the books, you know, sometimes it can be really hard to keep up with your mental state and keep up with, you know, how you're feeling inside. It's easy to let stress overrule you and let all those negative feelings get in the way. So we have professionals that are at your aid to make sure that you are taken care of, because your mental health is just as important as your physical health. And we want to make sure that your academics can come first while you're at the university. So for there, like I said, no need for health insurance. It's going to be a small fee each time, and they want to make sure they can help you.
Okay.
All right. Do you have anything to say about disability access services or student social services, Dre?
So in disability access services, whether you have maybe a mental disability or a physical disability, they are there to help provide the resources that you will specifically need to make sure you're successful here at the University of Missouri St. Louis. They also make sure that our campus is safe for our disabled students, to make sure that they can get to where they need to get on campus, because we do have hills on campus. So they're a really good resource for our disabled population here at UMSL. We also have our student social services, which provide a lot of resources for students who may not come from the best living situation or may need help so they can continue to be successful at UMSL. So they provide snack packs throughout the year. They also run our Triton Pantry, which are two really important resources to the UMSL community, because whether you are a student, staff, or anybody that has maybe a food need, if you don't have a meal plan, sometimes it can get hard to pay for food as a student. They're here to make sure that we can be focused on school and not focused on things that are happening negatively in our lives.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, now we will take that trek upstairs.
They need to low-key just edit it together with the best pieces.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, now we're on that second floor, and we are going to see the portal that takes you to all your classes. This is our bridge. So the bridge takes you straight to the academic quad. This is where a lot of the classes are going to be. I'll name off a couple halls. We have Lucas Hall, we have Clark Hall, we have our Social Sciences building, Express Scripts Hall. That's also where we have our library, which is called the Thomas Jefferson Library, and the lower floor of that's called the St. Louis Mercantile Library. I know these are a lot of names that might just be flying over your head or in one ear and out the other, but that's okay, because once you come to the university, these buildings are going to become so familiar, because it's where a lot of general education classes are held. So no matter what field you end up going into, no matter what major or minor that you take on, you'll end up being there at some point. So let's get a look inside the bridge really quick. It's super pretty.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it is.
Beautiful.
So as we walk down the bridge, you'll hear the beautiful music and or of talk shows of our radio station here at UMSL, the U Radio. You may see students or maybe even outside organizations tabling, trying to get you to know about various things that may be happening on or off campus that pertains to us UMSL students. We also paint the bridge windows during our spirit season, so around homecoming and during Mirth Week. This bridge is really colorful, painted. As you can see, we have sticky notes from one of our organizations doing an event on the bridge about speaking about ourselves as UMSL students. And it's just a really interesting, nice little fresh walk as you go to class.
Oh yeah, it's so beautiful. So we've pretty much looked over all of our Millennium Student Center. It's wonderful. Next, we are going to be going through our Recreation and Wellness Center. So inside our Recreation and Wellness Center, you're going to see the new state-of-the-art equipment that we have for our students. It's a wonderful place for you to get a workout in, get a nice swim, hang out, study with your friends even if you want to. It's also a wonderful place to get a campus job.
Mm-hmm. They actually
So,
hired the most students here on campus. Did you know that, Lexi?
no, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
It pretty much is student run. Pretty much any job here can be held by a student. So make sure you keep that in mind for if you come here. So as you can see, now we are getting a look at our natatorium, which has beautiful, beautiful long lap swim for you if you want to get a workout in. If you look a little closer is where you can see our diving boards. We also have a whirlpool as well as a jacuzzi in the back, and some nice calm swim right over here.
Don't
We
forget
usually
the
have
zip
a, oh, and a zip line. Yeah, we also have a zip line that spans the length of the pool, and sometimes we put up a basketball hoop over here for you to play with your friends when it's not lap swim hours. And we used to have, and I think they still put it up sometimes, is a mini rock climbing wall where you can climb to the top and you can jump in.
Yes.
You can tell that students helped design this building because there are lots of fun little parts of this. Okay, so let's look at our first floor. Just a minute. Okay, so as you can see on the first floor, we have tons of equipment, tons of weights and lifting equipment here on the first floor. And also we have tons of studio rooms where we have classes all the time at your disclosure for things like Zumba classes, kickboxing classes, spin classes. We pretty much have it all, and we want to make sure that students have a way to get fit in a fun way or just get their workout in a fun way. So we always have classes available. Pretty much all of them are free. Some of them, even if they have a fee, it's extremely small, and it's usually because we're bringing in some wonderful professional. Because we do that sometimes. We're just known to do that. Okay, so as you can see, I'll just take you around a little bit, show you the many people
weightlifting
working out.
equipment. Mm-hmm.
Here's another picture of our first floor fitness. Beautiful. And another thing about the first floor that's super cool is our 2-story rock climbing wall. Let's get a look at that really quick. How neat is that, Dre?
That's awesome. Like, I love the rock climbing wall. Like, when I come to the Recreation and Wellness Center, there's always different events that happen in there. And, like, a lot of the events are at the rock climbing wall. So, like, around Halloween, we had the zombie climb, and zombies chase people up the wall. So you better climb quick. And then we also have the ugly sweater climb. And they really just try to make the Recreation and Wellness Center, like, actually fun, so more students don't think of it as just working out, but they think of it as a break time, a time to have fun in between their classes while staying fit.
Oh yeah. So now let's look at our second floor. Let's look at some things that they have to offer. So we're going to look at some of the cardio machines on the second floor really quick. In just a moment. Yes, beautiful. We've got all the ellipticals in the land.
Yes.
Then as you can see to the right is where we have our courts. So we have 2 full-size basketball courts as well as a multi-use court to the left. So I will give you a closer look at that. It's really so beautiful. There are always people out there having a good time, getting a workout in with their friends as early in the morning as they open. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So something called intramurals, where you can start a team with your friends, or you can join a pre-existing team that students have created, students or faculty, and you can do fun things like you can start a pickleball team if you want, or you can join a pickleball team, and they have fun little competitions and games sometimes, and it's a fun way to get involved on campus and have a
We
good
have
time with your friends. Might as
so
well.
many different intramurals. We have dodgeball, we have volleyball, we have basketball, we have flag football, we have soccer. What else do you need? Okay.
Nothing. You don't need anything else. So this is what you see as soon as you enter the Recreation and Wellness Center. This is the entrance. And as soon as you come in, we have an area where you can check in. So remember earlier when we talked about those Triton cards? This is one of those circumstances where that can come in really, really handy. So what you do is as soon as you become a student here, you automatically have that membership in place for the Recreation and Wellness Center. But what you need to do is you need to go to Membership Services, which is this office that's tucked away right over here. And what you're going to do is you're going to give them your phone number. They're going to take your picture really quick, get some more information from you. And then from then on, all you need to do is take your Triton card right over here, swipe it, and then you have access to the entirety of the building, which is which has tons of benefits. So that is how you do that.
And as long as you're enrolled as a student, you will not pay any money to be a member of our Recreation and Wellness Center. There's also family plans. A misconception about our Recreation and Wellness Center is that it's only for students. It's actually like a community recreation and wellness center. So there's all types of people that will come into our Recreation and Wellness Center to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. So next, we are going to go to the top of our 3rd floor staircase. So you thought it was a big place, you're about to realize how much bigger it is, because we also have fitness equipment on the 3rd floor. So this is a little bit more of a private area. If you're kind of more of a private worker outer, as I like to call myself, this is where you go, because you have a lot of those machines. It's just in a more tucked away area. And you're also right next to the track. So the track spans the length of the entire building. And it also has an uphill and downhill grid that they switch from day to day. That way you can work out different parts of your body on each day that you're doing laps. I'm trying to show y'all. If you look close, you can see the track that wraps around all 3 of those courts, goes around, and the track is lined with windows so that you can see all of campus while you're running around. It gives you the feeling that you're running outside, so that even when you're enduring those cold Midwest winters, you can still get the feeling of being outside. It's wonderful. I absolutely love the Recreation and Wellness Center. I spend so much time here whenever I'm at the university.
I don't spend enough.
So, what? All right, now when you're on campus, one of the biggest things that you kind of have to question is, where am I going to live? You know, if you don't live close enough, you want to know what the options are. So now we're going to take a quick peek at Oak Hall, which is typically our freshman residence hall, but sometimes we also have some sophomore guests as well. So this is the outside of Oak Hall. It is absolutely stunning, and we're just going to talk about that with you in just a moment. So we are going to walk into our lobby really quick, take a quick jaunt. Oh, that was a very quick jaunt. All right.
Okay.
So
let's take a look at the lobby here. So once you first come in the lobby, you'll notice that it's really wide. There's a lot of things going on. You may see a lot of people. So what you're seeing here is our little ping pong table. Students love to just go down to the lobby to hang out with their friends sometimes. In the corner there, you can see some windows. That is to our C-store, which is our convenience store right there in the lobby of Oak Hall. So if you don't have a car to go to the store, or you just want to get a quick snack without leaving the building, you can actually use your meal plan to buy all sorts of toiletries and snacks and ice cream and slushies and food and things that you can heat up in your room right there in our convenience store right inside of Oak Hall. You can see our pool table. So right behind our front desk when you walk in, you can actually check out tons of different games. You can check out the ping pong paddles. You can check out the sticks for pool, all these things, just so students can have things to do right there in the building that they live in. All right.
Oh yeah.
So if we go to our front desk.
Yes, I'm not sure if it'll take us to our front desk. However, I will tell you about our 5 checkpoint security system that we have within this building. So that's something that a lot of people are very fairly concerned about, is whenever you get to a place that you're living, a new place, you want to make sure that it's very, very safe and secure. So I am here to tell you how safe and secure it actually is. So I'll give us a different view to look at while I tell you about that. So our 5 checkpoint security system. So as soon as you walk in the building, as soon as you pass that first set of doors, there's another set of doors that you can't enter unless you have swiped your student ID through the swiper. So after you have swiped and after you've gotten through that point, you have someone who is managing our front desk. So the person that's managing that front desk is going to ask of you to come to the front desk and check in that way. And then after that, you have to go to your hallway. So at your hallway, you're presented with another set of double doors. You need to swipe to get into that set of double doors. Then you find your room. You need to swipe to get into the first set of doors, and then you need to swipe to get into your actual room. And you're probably wondering, what do you mean? Isn't there just one set of doors to get me to where I sleep? No, because we actually have something called suite style living. So what that means is that you are in a suite with 4-ish other people, depending on the amount of people you need to live with. So that means that there will be 4 separate rooms within this suite. There will be one shared bathroom, but it's large, don't worry. The point is, you get to have your room to yourself. So that is a wonderful part of this freshman living, is that you don't really have to live with anyone else other than sharing a bathroom. You can get your room to yourself. So yes, it's very secure. So let's look at what some of those rooms may look like. So here's one of our showrooms.
So this showroom can kind of give you a little feel of what it would be like to live inside of Oak Hall. So no, someone doesn't actually live in this room, but as you can see, there's some bins under the bed. So our beds are actually adjustable, so you can raise it and lower it however you need. We also have loft beds, so if you would prefer just the top bunk of a bunk bed, and maybe have a little futon or a little couch, you can do so. These are just to give you some ideas of how the rooms are decorated. What comes included in the rooms, you ask? Well, we have the bed frame, yes. Then we also have the desk. We have a closet. We also have a microwave and fridge included with the room. There's Wi-Fi. There's also cable. So many amenities that are already coming with the room, all right? Then you have your bathroom. Now, everyone is responsible for bringing their own toiletries inside of Oak Hall, their own cleaning equipment, and to clean their own bathrooms inside the suites. But we also have hall bathrooms that are cleaned by custodial staff every day. So everything that's in your bathroom is up to you, all right? If you look around, there's a hallway that connects the suite together. I love how we all have our own rooms. Like, that's a big thing that drew me to UMSL personally, because I heard all those crazy stories about the crazy roommates that like just push people's boundaries and mess with their stuff. And I really felt like my stuff was secure in my room because I was able to lock my own door and have a key to it.
Oh yeah, it's pretty awesome here. One other feature that I'd like to show you all before we take a trip over to our Mansion Hall living situation is our Oak Hall pool, which is heated and saltwater treated. It's usually opened around April and closed around the beginning of October, but of course that, depends on weather. So it's open 24/7, but quiet hours typically start around 10. So you can choose. That's the cool thing, is that once you get to college, you pretty much get to choose how you're spending your hours, and you will eventually figure out what works best for you. So if you want to swim all night, you can if you want to. It wouldn't be everyone's first choice, but the option is there. So we get to make our own choices now. All right, so let's look at the all right. Show me. So this is what it looks like whenever you're walking out to Oak, just the beautiful greenway. I wanted to show you that really quick. Now let's take a look at Mansion Hill. So who can live at Mansion Hill?
Anyone who has junior level credits and or is over 21 years of age can live at Mansion Hill. There's a few exceptions. Maybe if you have a child already before the age of 21, they would recommend that you live in our Mansion Hill apartments. A lot of our transfer students also like to live at Mansion Hill apartments. Another exception, maybe you're an athlete, maybe you're playing baseball, maybe you're playing volleyball. You may find yourself living over here at Mansion Hill Apartments with maybe some of your teammates, okay?
Okay, so this is the outside of the apartment. We're going to take a step in really quick and see what one of the living rooms might typically look like. So something that'll be very dependent on what the cost is for you is basically going to be whether you decide if you want it furnished or unfurnished, and obviously whether you decide to live on your own or have a roommate. So this is what one of the living rooms might look like. Here's what the kitchen is equipped with. As you can see, you have a nice comfy stovetop, you have your sink. I don't think the blender's included, but it would be worth it to ask them. The refrigerator we have right over here, and a dishwasher, as you can see. Here's the bedroom.
Just so you know,
It's very spacious.
Each unit is updated. Every year they try to update certain units. So this may not be exactly what your unit may look like, as we have definitely updated quite a few of our apartments since this time, but this can give you just the most general idea.
All right, and then here's our bathroom. As you can see, we have a pretty nice spacious shower, the toilet right next to that, and a pretty decent sized vanity right over there too. So here's a look at the clubhouse, which is kind of the common space at Mansion Hills. And here's a look at what you can see on the inside whenever you go in. Just a common area to hang out if you want that, if you want a study group or something like that. So that is Mansion Hill. If you have any other questions about that, you can always get onto Mansion Hill's page on the UMSL website and check that out. But those are just two of our options for living here on campus. And now I am going to show you just a couple more things about the university that I'd like you to see before I let you go today. So our Two Hill Performing Arts Center. Me and Dre are both very acquainted with the Two Hill Performing Arts Center because we get the opportunity to perform there many times a year. But also on top of that, we have our UMSL Day every year where you get to meet, if you come to our UMSL Day, you get to meet a whole lot of staff and faculty that work here at the university. You get to talk with different people about a major that you may be interested in. And you really just get a kind of up close and personal experience of what it would be like to be a student here. So this is what the terrace and lobby looks like. This is a look inside our Lee Theater where there are a lot of orchestra rehearsals and rehearsals in general. I've done a lot of performances here and I know Dre has as well.
Yes.
Isn't it stunning?
It
so
is.
Beautiful.
It's a really beautiful building right here on campus. And I'm just so thankful that I was able to like actually take classes in there. So like not only are you, if you're just in orchestra, but there's also some theater performing classes that happen inside our Two Hill Performing Arts Center. So like anybody across the board may have a class in the Two Hill Performing Arts Center, or feel free to see a show for a discount. So as an UMSL student, you get discounts to any show that's at the Two Hill Performing Arts Center. This picture is just so silly. It's so distracting.
That's from the Pirates of Penzance, which is what the opera program put on 2 years ago. So it's goofy, yes.
Yeah. So as a student, if tickets are between $35 and $50 regularly, students are paying no more between $5 to $10 for tickets. So that's really awesome.
So it pays to go to the university. And not only do we want you to be skilled in your classes, but we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to grow in your idea of different cultures and learn more about art. We want you to have a well-rounded education. And that comes with stepping outside of your comfort zone and going to some of these shows and, you know, doing some of those other things that the university wants to provide for you. So one more thing that we would like to show you, well, not one more, we have a couple more, but we will start with our optometry clinic center because it's one of our newer buildings on campus, and also because we do have a really awesome service that you can get from our awesome patient care center. Let me see if they have any pictures for you. They do. Okay, so as soon as you enter the lobby, well, let's look at the outside really quick.
Wow.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful, lined with glass. You can pretty much see the interior from right outside. It's super, super new. It's a very welcoming office. As a student, you can go in and you can get eye care. You can get a checkup on your eyes for a very discounted or free price, depending on how often that is needed for you. They do have selections of eyewear, so you can get new glasses, you can get new contacts. It is a functioning patient care center that we have on campus. It's just that students get a little extra benefit from coming to help.
Now you're asking, why might we have this on campus? Well, UMSL actually has the only optometry program here in the state of Missouri. So if you're interested in being an eye doctor, then you can work and you can come do a degree program here at the university in optometry.
Oh, yes. Just 1 second. Okay. So let's look at Miralac Hall really quick. So at Miralac Hall, this is where we have a lot of our, whoopsie daisies. No, no, no. Okay. At Miralac Hall, that's where we have a lot of our education classes. It's a really beautiful, versatile building that you may see a couple times during your time here at the university. As it says in this little blurb over to the right, it says Miralac Hall provides classroom space for College of Education classes, but it's also home to the College of Optometry. So if you are in that college as well, you may find yourself having some classes there as well. So I'm going to get us up here a little bit because I want to show you one of our newest buildings on campus. So we will show you in just a moment. So what do you think your favorite memory has been while you've been here, Dre? Or one of your favorite experiences?
One of my favorite experiences, I would have to say one of my favorite experiences here on campus was actually being able to perform in the Wiz on campus. Like, I legit felt like a little campus celebrity for a moment as I was the
Awesome.
scarecrow. So that was really cool. Like, I really feel like I grew in that opportunity, and that opportunity actually helped me land two different theater company spots because they saw me and they wanted me to be a part of their theater company and to
Cool.
have a little piece of my creativity.
That is so, so awesome. And that also points out a wonderful point is that whenever you're going to college, somewhere that's so close to a city, so close to a big city like St. Louis, you have so many networking opportunities, so many chances to meet people that can help you get the job of your dreams in the future after graduating.
Right.
So now we are going to take a quick look at our university libraries. So one of which being Thomas Jefferson Library. So let's take a quick look inside. So inside on the bottom floor, this is a view of our St. Louis Mercantile Library, which of course has lots of awesome study space, but I would say it also kind of doubles as a history and art museum because we have so much history and beautiful sculptures and paintings that you can look at. It's just a beautiful place that can aid in your research and all of that.
It's the oldest library west of the Mississippi.
Yes, it sure is. It's a really awesome thing that we have on campus. Bragging rights. All right, but on the entrance floor, we have something called Cafe TJ. So Cafe Thomas Jefferson, or whatever you want to call it. So inside this houses lots of Starbucks products. So it may not be technically a Starbucks, but we can get you your Java chip Frappuccino. We can get you all of those things. So we do have Starbucks products in there, but you can also stop for some lunch options. They have pastries and donuts every morning for you. So
Even more
that
than
is one option.
Starbucks.
Huh?
Even more
Yeah,
than Starbucks.
true, true. So here's our front entrance. So beyond this pole that's in the way of us looking at it is our largest computer lab on campus, but it's definitely not the only one. You can find a computer lab in most of the academic buildings, as well as anywhere where you need it. But if you need computers, this building is fully equipped with lots of computers. As far as printing goes, you don't have to pay any extra money out of your pocket, because basically that's taken care of for you. $30 is loaded onto your account every semester, and each page that you print is worth 3 cents. So basically, if you add that up, do the math, it's about 1,000 sheets of paper that you get to print per semester without taking any extra money out of your bank account. So that's taken care of for you. I'll talk about the floors really quick. So this is the main floor. If you go up to level 4 is where you're going to find the silent library. The silent library is where you can pretty much, sorry. Oh yeah, I thought you said shh. I was like,
No, I was replying.
am I being too loud? No, but yeah, it's the silent library. So we want to make sure we give students the opportunity to learn in an environment that is best suited for everyone's individual study needs. So not everyone studies best in the completely pin drop silent environment, but if you do, that's awesome. We have that there for you on level 4. If you go up to level 5 though, that's where you can find our group study, more collaborative, noise allowing floor. So that's where you can go to work on group projects. If, whatever your need may be, if you work a little bit better with some noise in the background, that's where you'll go for that. They
Or
also
private
have
study
different,
room.
yeah, private study rooms. Yeah, I was just about to say that. That's where you can rent out a private study room, whether you want to have a room specific for your group or you just want somewhere to study on your own. You can rent a key out from our library attendant and you can get that for you. So of course we have over 1 million volumes of books in this library, which sounds impossible and insane, but we do have that. And if for some reason you still can't find the book that you need for your research or for your class, we do have something called interlibrary loan. Can you talk about that really quick?
Yeah,
Dre, while I try and find us our next place.
so our interlibrary loan system, pretty much, you can go online to our library website, and then you can look up within our interlibrary system what books you may need, and then they will actually send that book to our library, and you can pick it up and use it just like you're checking it out from this library. So that's really helpful, especially being a Research One university that we are. People need these services all the time. So if you ever find a book that is not in our library, but that is in our interloan system, you can make sure you can get those books right there on campus.
Absolutely, that is so cool. So now we are finding ourselves at one of our last stops, which is our Anheuser-Busch building, which is the newest building on campus. It was built in August of 2017. Yes, it is beautiful. It's stunning. It is a business building. And I've heard someone call it the, what do they call it? I think they call it the Ferrari of business buildings or something like that, but it definitely is. It has state-of-the-art everything inside, beautiful lecture halls, and also it houses our internship office. So even if you don't plan on going into business, you can always hit up that internship office, and that's where you can find those experiences that will make you more marketable in the future when you're finding a job, and will also help you to network and to figure out what you like in your field. So I think that's all I have to say. Do you have anything else that you want to add, Ray?
I would just say that this building is pretty much the goal to what we want all of our buildings to look like within the next 10 years. They've been doing a lot of renovation to our older buildings so they can all be on the same level as our Anheuser-Busch Hall, which is actually just the first part built to our business building. There's going to be a part B to our Anheuser-Busch Hall coming soon. So be on the lookout.
Oh, yes. So thank you so much for joining us all today at the University of Missouri St. Louis. Hopefully we'll get to see you in person and in classes very, very soon. We had such a good time with you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us. Please feel free to call in and send us some emails and keep in contact with us. But anyway, that's all. We are so excited to introduce you to this beautiful campus, and have a great rest of your day, week, and year.
Thank you for joining this tour with me and Lexi.